Hello everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. And today I'm making pork schnitzel. It's crispy on the outside and very tender on the inside. And I'm making my schnitzel more of a German style, and it's served with a Caribbean salsa that's absolutely delicious. We'll start with the coating for the pork. It will be a 3-part dredge. So part 1, take out a shallow pie plate, place 3/4 cup of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Then on to part 2. Use another pie plate and crack 2 large eggs into it. Then add about 1/4 cup of milk and whisk that together until it's well combined. Then on to part 3. Using some Panko breadcrumbs, measure out about 2 cups and pour that into the 3rd pie plate. Now add 1 tablespoon of paprika to the breadcrumbs. And you can add anywhere between 1/4 and 1/2 teaspoon of salt and about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Schnitzel's not meant to be spicy, but I still added about 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Just a wee bit to lift the flavor. Mix it together and set it aside. Then on to the salsa. Start with a fresh, ripe pineapple. When choosing a nice ripe pineapple in the store, make sure that the leaves are green and the bottom smells sweet. Chop your pineapple fairly small, and you'll need about 2 cups. Then on to some red bell pepper. You'll need about 1/2 cup of red bell pepper and have it finely chopped. And here we go on to the jalapeno pepper. So with this, we're going to remove what makes it so hot, and that's the seeds and the inside part. Chop it quite fine and only do about half of the jalapeno pepper. And how about a red onion? The red adds color, but you could also use a sweet onion and chop it really fine. We'll use no more than 1/4 cup. And I don't think it's salsa unless you put some tomatoes in it. So get some nice ripe tomatoes and finely chop them as well. And I'm going to use about 1/2 cup of these. Then finely chop some fresh cilantro. We'll use about 1/4 cup of that. Let's put this all together. Add about 2 cups of chopped pineapple to the mixing bowl. Then add 1/2 cup of chopped tomatoes. And just shy of 1/4 cup of finely chopped onion. Then add 1/2 cup of chopped red bell pepper. Half of a jalapeno pepper that's been finely chopped. And 1/4 cup of finely chopped cilantro. Take a large spoon and mix this all together. Now this salsa already has an awesome flavor combination, but we need to add some lime juice. This sets it off extremely well. So cut open a fresh lime and squeeze the juices in on top. This will be like our dressing for the salsa. Start by squeezing the juices from half of the lime and then do a taste test. And if you need a little bit more, use the other half if you need to. And only squeeze enough of that juice to make the flavors pop. So you need to do some taste testing here till you get it just right. And this salsa is so good you can serve it with several different dishes, or eat it even by itself. But I'm serving it with the pork schnitzel that I'm doing today. And you'll need some boneless pork chops. We'll tenderize them and flatten them out with the meat pallet. It takes a bit of pounding, but we need it to go down to about 1/4 inch thick. Also need to trim off the excess fat. And here I'm using a fillet knife to trim that back. It's just nice and sharp and works nicely. I'm only doing 3 pork chops today, but you probably have enough batter for about 4 or 5. Here I'm going to continue to pound down each of them until they're about 1/4 inch thick. And that will make it nice and tender. Note to self, don't buy a mallet that'll fall apart. Well, I did manage to get them all pounded down to about 1/4 inch thick here, and then I'm sprinkling salt and pepper over the top of each of them. I take a large frying pan and I place olive oil in the bottom of the frying pan until the bottom is completely covered, and you want each of your tenderloins to be slightly swimming in it, and add a tablespoon of butter. Then heat that up to about 330 degrees. Now to work quickly and do the 3-step process. Once it's coated, we'll place it in the oil and fry each piece separately. And this will take 3 to 5 minutes per side. I like to make sure that my pork is cooked through well, so I tend to turn my heat up and down throughout the cooking process. Not to cook it too quickly, but to make sure that it's cooked through properly so it'll still be moist on the inside and nice and crispy on the outside. So temperature is important, not too hot. Wow, this is looking really good. Look at that, nice and golden. We're getting ready to serve this up. Let's get a couple of slices of lemon for that as well. Alright, it's ready. So let's check out these serving ideas. So let's cut into it and check out what the inside looks like. Ah, nice and crispy on the outside, tender and well cooked on the inside, just like I was hoping for. I think I'll add a baked potato and maybe some green beans to this. So does this look like something that you would eat? It's worth giving it a try. I think you'll quite enjoy it. Thanks for watching today's episode, and I hope that you'll like and comment in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, happy eating.